Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Reliance Global Group is an insurance tech company, and with me is Grant Barra, Senior Vice President of Operations, to explain a little bit more. Let's just start with that overview. What is Reliance Global Group?
So first, Jane, thanks for having me. Reliance Global Group's core operations is in insurance distribution. So Reliance distributes, and in insurance distribution, there's really three ways that they do that. Through traditional retail. The second way would be direct to consumer. And then also, Reliance Global Group operates an exclusive agency partner network. So that is business to business.
And then explain the growth potential of the company.
The growth trajectory for Reliance Global Group is astronomical. As what I see in the marketplace as far as our growth goes has to do specifically with insurance agents in the field. So if you look at the number of insurance agents that are currently with captive organizations, by captive organizations, I'm talking about the State Farms, the Allstates, the Farmers. These agents with the companies are able to sell that captive insurance company's products. So they're able to give their clients the best thing that they have access to, which is one insurance company. With how the world has changed, options are not only better for the end consumer, but for the agents and agency partners that we have in the field. So because our agents are now able to utilize our proprietary technology platform that allows them to work with their clients in a much more efficient, fast, and more accurate way, they're able to offer more competitive offerings to their consumers benefit from that, and they're able to write that much more business. So when the agents are writing the business, that's producing premium dollars into the company, which results in a percentage of those premium dollars being paid to us in the form of revenue. And what about the current economic conditions? How is that impacting your business? Right, so with the current economic conditions, you hear the news articles about the increasing claims cost for the insurance companies, which is impacting them severely in a very negative way. Reliance Global Group has managed that risk where we are the distribution, the marketing arm for the insurance companies. We do not take on any of that claims cost risk. So our revenue, and essentially that does not impact the company itself. So it's multifaceted in how the economic conditions are also impacting the company. Because of the tightening of the labor market, it also pushes agency partners, or potential agency partners, individuals that have been considering starting their own agency or going into business for themselves, to take action at a more rapid pace. So while we continue to grow the organization and add agents, right, that ultimately produce the premiums that drive the revenue into the company, we see in uncertain economic times that's increasing exponentially. And what's your competitive advantage, would you say? So the competitive advantage to our platform is the idea that, number one, we give these agents access to technology that just makes their life incredibly easy. Their ability to do business is very easy. The next would be the access to our carrier partners that give the agents so many different options, right? So they're not meeting with a client in order to be able to offer one product, right? We don't want to just push one product on that end consumer. We want to take your information, input it into our technology, and find the best recommendation for your needs at the lowest rates in the marketplace that we have access to. So by doing that, you're going to win as an end client, Jane. And our agents are going to win because they can drive more revenue for that reason.
Now, how can somebody find out more about Reliance Global?
So the best way to find out more about Reliance Global Group would be to go to our website, which is www.relianceglobalgroup.com.
Okay, Grant, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jane.
Thanks,
Lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis can be difficult to treat and debilitating for an animal's health and well-being. Take control of lameness issues and joint pain. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. With just one injection, Spring with OsteoCushion technology targets the root cause of lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis, helping animals do what they do best.
OriginClear is transforming the water industry with revolutionary water treatment technology and innovative financing. With me is Executive Vice President Kim Berenger to explain the company. And recently, the water industry achieved a status of unicorn. There have been some companies in this industry who have been unicorns, which is a private company worth $1 billion. So tell me about that, and what does that mean for the whole industry?
Hi, Jane. Thanks for having me back.
Great to have you.
Hello. Yeah, it's very validating. I've only been screaming about this for 5 years. Welcome to the party. Where you been? In actuality, that unicorn was created through private venture capital. So the difference is, I think the street's waking up to the fact that this is a massive underserved business, and it's nothing more enduring. Technology can change day to day, but water is enduring. It will, it's not going to go out of style, I suspect, anytime soon. It was incubated by venture capital. There was no individual investor access. So if you and I said, look, I love this idea, I want to be involved, we're boxed out. OriginClear, what we're doing is the exact opposite. We recognize that in a $1 trillion space, you're probably going to have more than one unicorn. This is a unicorn creating space. We want to develop the next one, hopefully, but focus exclusively on individual investors to provide kind of what I would call mainstream investors or accredited investors with the same access to the same opportunity and structured in a way that creates generational wealth.
Yeah. Now, and I did read that the world's first trillionaire will be from the water industry. So how will that happen? Is there a way that OriginClear can benefit from that?
Yes and yes. So again, I think every time I've spoken to you, I keep mentioning it's $1 trillion opportunity, and people are like, yeah, it's water. But really, I think the way to phrase this is this. Yes, it's been $1 trillion opportunity all along, and I believe that the quote came from Forbes Council. So you have to ask yourself, okay, a trillionaire can be created. That's going to be an early player for sure. I don't think you can be a late stage investor in something and create $1 trillion of wealth. But let's focus on the fact that it now is quoted by Forbes Council as it's going to have the ability to create $1 trillion plus of wealth. Now, that's either going to be one individual, but what's the real benefit to that? What we believe is by focusing on the individual investor, we believe that there's a lot more impact and a lot more benefit of having $1 trillion wealth creation opportunity, and maybe decentralized water, decentralize the opportunity, create maybe 1 million millionaires. We think that's a lot more impactful.
Yeah.
By doing what we do, by dropping these in like the Denison, Texas location, we can create a decentralized private water infrastructure system faster than they can even put up the building. You're going to see thousands of manufacturers come back from China, land in the United States, and by doing this, we can help facilitate an American manufacturing renaissance. And that's really exciting because not only because of the capital it creates, the jobs it creates, and of course the wealth.
Yeah.
And to be the focal point of that or to help facilitate that is really an exciting prospect.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting because these companies need water and they may have to wait for years for some municipality to install a...
Think about it, right? Think about it. So we're going to build a manufacturing plant as soon as they build 100 miles of pipe.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, right? We could literally build them as fast as the building, which I think is super exciting.
Okay, so last question, Ken, just about your customers and what is it you have so far? How have they been, they've been happy with the service? What kind of experience have they had?
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Okay, when a 30-year veteran engineer says, holy cow, guys, you've blown me away. You just handed me the easy button.
Honestly, I was amazed. I was really looking for the easy button so that we can focus on doing what we do best.
You get that guy on recording saying, can you say that again, please? So we've got a number of installations. North Texas, in my own area in Moscow, PA, they're putting in systems that are just changing the way people can develop property, both for the industrial and residential. Now, this is still an industrial-focused application, but I believe it'll kind of expand out into the residential home development market. When people have gotten used to having a certain way of operating, and they think that's their only option, and you get the brilliance of a Dan Early coming along with a decentralized system saying, here you go, you're in business. And when they're impressed with that, you know you've gotten kind of the right, you've captured the right tone.
Okay, thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Homeowners, it's time to earn up to 30% more income on your vacation rental property and say goodbye to endless rental headaches. Maximize your profitability and time when you partner with the Compass Collection. Our sophisticated approach to bookings, marketing, and revenue management is focused on delivering the ultimate level of service and success. Let us change the way you rent and unlock the full earnings potential of your property. Contact us today for your free home revenue projection at thecompasscollection.com.
Robertson Ryan is a brokerage firm that is majority owned by military service veterans. Originally, it was established in 1987. It is America's first service-disabled, veteran-owned broker-dealer. And the team is comprised of veterans, also citizen patriots. And with me is Brian Rathjen, the president of Robertson Ryan, and Pete Clarke, senior director. Great to have you here.
So good to be here. Thank you.
So just tell me a little bit of the history. So I mentioned originally started in 1987, but you took it over 2017?
Yeah, about 5 years ago, a group of us got together and we were looking to create a financial engine to give back to the veteran community. So we bought the firm, Robertson Ryan, from the founder who was aging out of the business. We recapitalized it and restaffed it with a combination of Wall Street veterans, military veterans, and folks like Pete and myself who are Wall Street veterans who actually served in the military as well.
Okay, and what's your mission? Pete, do you want to describe what's the mission of Robertson Ryan?
That's great. Thanks for asking that. Our mission is pretty simple. One, to give our clients the best experience we can, and two, to give back to veterans causes. We believe we have the competency. We have plenty of folks that have worked actually in this exchange for 10, 20 decades. Yeah. And we wanted to bring that along with our competency in equity and debt capital markets and equity trading, and give that service back to our customers. And then as a benefit of doing business with us, we can give back to veterans causes either the company supports or we have vetted out. So we've been able to give the veterans groups that we work with over $2 million in cash and benefits to actually support their causes.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that a little bit. What are those groups and what kind of things are you helping these veterans do?
Sure. So we, like Pete said, the first and foremost, we have to provide a good client experience. The fact of the matter is, we've been at war for 20 years. We've had over 3 million men and women go overseas to protect our freedoms here in the country, and our government has failed them. We owe them a debt of gratitude for what they've done for us to allow us the freedoms to live in America. And there is a funding gap. So what we do is we support causes that support the health, wellness, career transition of our military veterans and their families. We also provide funding for college scholarships for children who have lost a parent overseas.
Okay. Well, and that's all important. And I mean, you're a business, so as well. So what services do you provide? And it's open to anybody, right? It doesn't have to be military veteran to use your services.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
So we service, our target clients are Fortune 1000 companies who are doing debt transitions. So we have a debt capital markets team, and we've got great capabilities there. So we're a co-manager in a lot of deals for a lot of Fortune 1000 companies. So any corporation out there that's listening, we would love to have the opportunity to showcase our skills and what we can do to provide you a good client experience. But you could also be involved with the give back to our veterans.
And you've got a lot of partnerships. I was looking on your website, a lot of big Wall Street firms.
Sure, so let me talk a little bit about that. Citigroup, Citi has been a tremendous partner of ours. We're in what they call a mentor-protege program, where Citi is the mentor, we're the protege, and this is a relationship that's blessed by the Small Business Association. And Citi's been extremely supportive to us, providing us deal flow, sometimes balance sheet. They're a great partnership. But we've done business with a number, about 80 different Fortune 1000 companies. We also service top tier money managers. A lot of money managers out there use us for fixed income and equity trading. Our equity trading capability, I think, is one of the best. I'll put us against a lot of folks. We've got 6 folks that have been doing this for 25 years or more at a lot of the major banks, and a lot of these folks, as they've gone towards the end of their career, they've wanted to do something a little bit more meaningful than just making money. Yeah. And this is a great platform for that.
Yeah. So where do you think you would be, or what are your goals, say, in 5 years? Pete, do you want to chime in on that? And then
sure. One thing I also wanted to touch on what Brian was talking about, on the equity capital market side, companies that go public, we definitely want to be a part of those transactions and be a co-manager on those on the equity capital market side. I think to be on an IPO, and then we give a percentage of those dollars back to these veterans causes, and we bring in the company and say, hey, they might have a veterans resource group at that company, or like a lot of utility companies do, or growing companies that want to hire veterans, and they want to support those type of causes. So I think that's important for us to get out there.
Yeah. Well, and I know of some veteran-founded companies that might be potential IPO candidates at some point. That might be something you would be interested in as well at some point, to helping them go public.
100%. So in a nutshell, private companies are going to go public. Private equity firms have been a great partner to us. Equity and fixed income money managers, or Fortune 1000 companies. Those are the folks that we're trying to do our best to partner with.
Yeah. And how can somebody find out more about this? A website or?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a website, roberts-ryan.com is our website. And we've got, everything's on there, who we give to. We have an impact report we can send out about how we've affected veterans and their families' lives. Our tombstones are on there. It's actually pretty, and obviously if they reach out to us, we can reach back to them with all the information they would need.
Yeah. Tell me real quick about your military experience. You're in the Navy. I know you're Navy too, right?
So Pete and I were actually at the Naval Academy together.
Okay.
And I was class of '88 from the Navy, and Pete was class of '90. Okay. And then I was fortunate enough to serve. I went to more schooling in San Diego. I did 3 years on a ship in Pearl Harbor, and then I came back to New York City before I transitioned out of the Navy. But I had a great experience.
Yeah. Pete, what about
you? Similar background, class of '90, Naval Academy. Went to San Diego, was on a guided missile cruiser, had a great tour there for 3 years. Then I went to Camp Pendleton, and I was an LCAC officer, which is an assault hovercraft. We work with the Marines. So I did that for 2 years. I was an instructor for 2 years in sunny San Diego, but did several deployments, Gulf War deployment, But, you know, it was great. Being in the service, I wish I'd have stayed in the reserves, and I didn't do that. But just the camaraderie of being at this company and still have that same type of camaraderie inside our company as we did out in the fleet. And giving back. And what I love about this job is that we have the opportunity to be with those type of people every day, and through the causes that we support, that we can be with these military veterans. So I feel like I'm back in it again.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's really important for us. That's what gives us up every morning. It drives us, is to help those folks that are keeping our country free, so we can have free and open markets.
Yeah.
And I think that's you know, that's a deliverable for us.
That's right. Well, and I think I've been around exchanges many years, and I think there's something similar with the military. The exchanges, there is this kind of unique camaraderie you really can't find in any other workplace. So it's interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you've done and what you're doing for the country.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Berry, and this is your Secure Privacy segment with Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Sekur Private Data. Good morning, Alain.
Good morning to you. I'm hoping you're doing okay over there because I know there's a power outage.
Yes, where I currently live, we had a massive storm, a huge electrical storm. All of the power grid is out. So the whole city does not have power, and it's about to be 85 degrees Fahrenheit today. So you do the math to calculate. It's going to be very hot. It's a very challenging time. And this happens all over the world. We know that because there's all different types of destructive elements. This is a natural element. And so what we're going to talk about today is how this is leaving our data vulnerable, because this is when cyber attacks can really start to come in when people depend on their technology so much. But this is an easy vulnerability for hackers to come in and steal our information. So let's talk a little bit about that today, Alain.
Yes, so what you're talking about is infrastructure and redundancy and electrical supply. It's basically the veins of these data centers are power and networking, because without one of the other, all the data that we are trying to access is inaccessible. And of course, it is prone to attacks by hackers. So, you know, the hackers can attack anything from your own little personal data all the way to the power grid, as we have seen in the last few years. We've been on the show for a while, we've discussed that. And therefore, it's important to have a backup power. Obviously, one of the advantages to try to back up your cloud in a safe area where you do have redundant power and networking capability. This leaves the entire city now and every citizen where you are vulnerable, unfortunately.
It really does. And adding insult to injury, I'm moving into a new home this week. And another topic that is so important is when you do move, you have to change your address. Well, a lot of employers make you send your business ID, your social security, in order to get that change accomplished. And it is unbelievable how many people still are asking for my personal private information to be sent over the open source email. So we're going to go over that again because it happens all the time. What's your business ID? Send it over here. What's your new address? What's your new banking account in this open source email? It's terrifying.
Yeah, and that's why you need to use secure communication as best as you can. And because you're transferring essentially personal data that can be read by hackers in between transfers. Also, if you send it to somebody, let's say your new landlord or the company that you purchased this housing from, maybe their data is also hosted by a third party. It's a chain. It's like a domino chain of things where not one person controls, and you're giving away that entire data, trusting them. So you want to make sure that at the very least you use proper, secure and safe communication tool like email and things like that.
And that's exactly what I do. Just a simple, fun plug. It's so simple to say, all right, I'll send all that over, but look out for my secure mail because it's coming through a different platform that I know I can trust. So it's been a very easy transition, making sure everyone gets my valuable information, but it's coming through the secure platform. So if you want to talk a little bit about secure mail.
Sure, that's actually a very good example where you send personal information, financial for mortgage, real estate, medical information, moving. I mean, I think a while back we talked about Airbnb, that you were renting a place and they were looking for your social security number, etc. So Secure has an email and messaging application and a VPN, all hosted in Switzerland. And what we do that's different typically is we have a secure send application. So you can send via regular email through Secure to another secure person. That way it's a closed loop. If you're sending email to somebody outside of Secure Network, you want to use the Secure Send feature, which essentially sends them a notification to click on a link, which you could password protect, expiration, read limit, etc. And when they click, they connect directly to our servers in Switzerland. And that way, the communication never leaves the server. You can also direct for how long they can have that access and how many times they can even read that email. You can also attach a ton of documents, and that's also helping the recipient not having their emails clogged. And also you can have large attachment. In real estate, as an example, you have brochures, you have things like that. They take up a lot of space. So Secure Send, Secure Reply is a great tool. Anybody can go to our site on secure.com under the video and tutorials and see how it works. We have the same thing for Messenger, where you can SMS someone or email someone outside of Secure to chat privately and securely with you. And of course, we do recommend having a VPN to protect and encrypt your data even more. The entire stuff is stored in Switzerland, where luckily we have a very high energy independence. We are connected to the globe. As you know, there's global organization hosted in Switzerland. And so far, you know, knock on wood, we have a very high redundancy. That's one place, for example, where you can store your valuable information.
Perfect. And you're offering a promo code for our viewers today, aren't you?
Yes, the promo code is privacy. It gives you 15% off any of our solutions for the next 5 years.
Perfect. Well, the privacy has arrived here with your Secure. Thank you so much for joining us, Alain. And I'm sure our weekly hack next week will be dialed